Hello, this is Jacob Bolton, Associate Pastor of Christian Formation here at Westminster Presbyterian Church in Alexandria, Virginia. Just yesterday, we celebrated the sacred observance of Christ the King Sunday, or commonly known as well as Reign of Christ Sunday. Christ the King is a relatively new addition to our liturgical calendar. It was first instituted in the year 1925 by Pope Pius XI, which means we're celebrating it for the 95th time, I guess, right? In 1970, it shifted from an earlier date on the calendar to its more appropriate, I would say, observance date now, which is the final Sunday of Ordinary Time. Christ the King Sunday concludes, ends, culminates our liturgical year. Many Reformed and Protestant churches also celebrate the feast of Christ the King, or Reign of Christ Sunday, as it is featured in the Revised Common Lectionary. Of course, Christ the King Sunday has an eschatological dimension as well, does it not? Pointing us to the end of time, when the kingdom of Jesus will be fully established in the ends of the earth, and leads us into Advent, when we anticipate Christ's second coming. So Christ the King Sunday, Reign of Christ Sunday, honors the fullness, the richness, the power that Jesus Christ has over all creation, by essence and by nature. But it also helps us to see fulfillment throughout the entire year. As next Sunday, Advent invites us to anticipate what is coming, what will be. And then just yesterday, we celebrated and observed everything that has come to fulfillment, the fruition of that promise. Which makes me want to ask all of you, what is it? What's that new thing that you're anticipating right now? What is that new thing that you want to see happen? Or maybe more as we go into Advent, but maybe more appropriately for yesterday, what is that thing that you're anticipating to see come to fruition, to see end? It's important in our lives to honor and to mark not just the beginning of things, but the end of things, the conclusion of things. Our liturgical calendar makes that point and just did yesterday. There's a handful of things that we celebrate when they end. I can certainly think of graduation, or when someone moves on from one thing to the next, the end of a time, whether that means it's retirement, or whether that means someone's job has come to an end and it's time for them to find something else to move on. In his amazing book, Necessary Endings, the author Henry Cloud writes, getting to the next level always requires the ending of something, leaving it behind and moving on. Growth itself demands that we move on. Without the ability to end things, people stay stuck, never becoming who they are truly meant to be, never accomplishing all that their talents and abilities should afford them. I can tell you one ending that I'm very proud of just in this past week is that I was able to submit my dissertation, something that I've been working on for 3 years, and I have submitted it. It's been approved by my advisors, by my editors. It's done. I'm not doctor yet. I've got to do my oral defense, and that will be sometime next year. But I have recently seen a conclusion, and I could not move on to my oral defense. I could not move on to the next phase in that process if I did not celebrate and honor this conclusion. This process needed to end. And it's done. It's pretty joyful, to tell you the truth, this ending point. I remember just yesterday, actually, writing letters to all my professors, thanking them, letting them know that my hands were shaking as I was typing, because I was just so emotional to reach that point. What are those joyful conclusions in your life? We don't do endings very well in our society. We really don't. Which is a shame, because we're a people of resurrection. And so we should actually be pretty good at endings, at least as a church. But I can tell you that culturally, we're not. And I don't think that that's news. So what are those things in your life you're really celebrating the end of? It could be school. It could be work. It could be a season of your life, a chapter. Maybe you've been working on a project and it's about to conclude, or it just recently concluded and you're so proud of that work. Or you might not be that proud of it, but you're just happy to see it done. Well, yesterday, we celebrated that act as a church. And as you move into Advent, and we anticipate the things that are coming that are new, whether that's more light, whether that's a deeper relationship with Christ, I encourage you to keep honoring those conclusions. Keep honoring those things that have ended. To feel the joy of completion. And so with that, friends, I look forward to hearing what those moments are in your life as we hold each other in prayer. Much love. Hold fast.